Hey, what's good, everybody? Happy Sunday evening. Another week of college football, another weekend of NFL football, some crazy finishes, endings. Listen, man, we are in it. I love it. Football is alive and well. What's up, chat? See y'all going strong, Miss Pinky, Mark Swick, Stilly Matt, all the usual suspects. Appreciate y'all. Let's get into it. First, please like this video. You see that thumbs up, click it, tap it, punch it, smack it. Do whatever you got to do. And then also, if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And then also hit the bell. That way you get notifications whenever we go live. Also, remember, when you do your super chats, helps to go towards the pay it forward, military, first responders. We're always going to look out for them because they look out for us. Y'all know the drill. And we're going to bring in the brother, Funky. What is good, sir? How are you feeling this glorious weekend?
I'm feeling great, B. We're 3-0. We just won the national championship. We're ranked number
Yeah.
one in the AP poll again. So, and we're the national title favorites, and that's the most important thing about this entire thing. So, I'm really excited. Blessed to be a Buckeye fan. Blessed to be back here with you today on a Sunday around the same time like we usually went. So it's feels like last season, and I'm just excited to be here and talk a lot about some Buckeye football and all around what happened week 3 of the college football season.
That's a great point, man. It does have a feeling of nostalgia. How we used to rock every Sunday, close to around the same time. Definitely has that vibe, and we know what happened last season. We got that natty, so I like that. What's up, Mike Green? What's up, B? Who else I just saw popping here? Paulie Buckeye. What's up, y'all? John Phillips. God bless you. Best chat in the business. But yeah, man, we're gonna talk about it. And yes, we are number one in the AP poll, but haven't you heard, Funky? We deserve to drop because we suck, because we only beat Ohio by 4 touchdowns. What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on the game. I've not been able to talk about the game yet. My thoughts on the game is everything was good besides her red zone offense. Red zone offense was sloppy. I thought Julian looked slightly hesitant out there I feel like he could have been, probably a step faster.
Yeah.
He looked like not scared with the football, but I guess hesitant is a better word than scared. I think he could have been a little faster processing some of the things that Ohio was throwing at him. But I think overall, it was a great day for the offense and the defense. The defense really was just one mishap play on that Lorenzo Styles fade route. He kind of got dunked on, and then I'm sure he feels bad about that one play. Besides for that one play, though, the defense got an A plus from me, and then besides for the red zone offense, the offense got an A plus from me because they almost had 600 total yards of offense. I mean, that's pretty dang good. And versus a not bad Ohio team.
No.
Ohio, that was probably, they're definitely better than Grambling, and Texas was Texas, but Ohio's not a bad team. They beat West Virginia, who just beat Pitt, and they also lost to Rutgers by 2 points, and Rutgers escaped that game. Ohio really should have won that game versus Rutgers. So they've played 3 Power 4 teams, and they've looked very competitive. I think they would be competitive versus some of those bottom teams in the Big Ten, like the Purdue's, the UCLA, the Northwesterns. So that wasn't a bad team we played, and I think the defense especially really showed out, and the defensive line especially, able to contain the quarterback, get to the quarterback, was very good. And because who knows, if we let that quarterback get out, scramble for a few yards, get a few first downs, and our offense continues to kick field goals, that game could have gotten a little uglier than it was. Because it was, we killed them. We still won by 28, and it was still a great game. I thought Julian Sayin got really unlucky on those 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
I thought there's only one throw he made all day that made me, kind of shake my head, and that was in that overthrow to, I think it was a tight end on 2nd or 3rd down.
To Claire, I think.
Yeah, the Claire, and
or Casimir, one of them.
Or it was one of them. He airmailed it, and that was his worst throw of the game. It definitely wasn't any of those 2 interceptions. So it's a good week to be sloppy, because it's going into our bye week, and then we know what we have in this next couple of weeks. We've been talking about it. all off season that this is going to be a rough stretch of games, and that's what it's turning out to be. Maybe even rougher than someone Buckeye fans expected. With Illinois being a top 10 team in the nation. Washington. See, I don't know about Washington, and I think Washington's definitely to me been a little unimpressive,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that this game could be the game where they kind of show out and the game that they're really looking forward to. So it'll be interesting. I'm definitely happy that we have a bye week the week before that game, but a lot of stuff to look forward to and a lot of stuff to be happy about, but also a lot of stuff to be a little nervous about if you're a Buckeye fan. But that's just college football in this nowadays. It's going to be a tough schedule pretty much every year for the rest of the time.
Yes, it is. And so, yeah, I'll give my thoughts. I did the post game with Dev and Nevada last night, shared some things, but yeah, I think let's start with saying. I would say, yeah, he was a little indecisive. There was some reads that he missed where he just went to the wrong read. Like Donaldson was wide open in the flat on that one play. That would have been a walk-in touchdown if he sees that. Some people say Ennis, but he wasn't looking that way towards Ennis. He was looking the other side of the field. I don't know what his progression and read was supposed to be for that. So I won't hit him over the head for that. But saying by no means was bad. I know you're not saying that, but he was not bad at all. He's just a third-time starting quarterback. Like he's still learning. He's still learning his craft. So it was definitely one of those things where it's like, okay, this is clunky. We're not finishing. We move the ball easily, all up and down the field, easily. I mean, you mentioned the stats. Look at the stats. 572 yards, Ohio State versus Ohio 181. Total yards. They had 113 passing. We had 347 passing. They had 68 yards rushing. We had 225. All right. I mean, we dominated them. 9.1 yards per play. 28 first downs to their 9. I mean, on and on and on and on. So it was just one of those games where, yeah, this is college football, y'all. And I just be saying, like, for those now, kudos to most Buckeye fans from what I can see. Most didn't really spaz, but there was some that was spaz. And I'm just like, y'all act like y'all have not watched college football before. These games happen. You know what I'm saying? And Ohio is not a bad team. Just because they're a MAC team doesn't mean they suck. They're solid. They won their title last year. I'm about to say division. They won not their title. Yeah, they won the MAC title, the MAC championship, their conference. And they just beat West Virginia, like Funky said. West Virginia turned around and beat Pitt. Ohio is a good team that is going to be disciplined. They're well coached. That receiver they got is very good. And let me speak on that with Lorenzo Styles Jr. And this is what irritates me a little bit about fans is that up until this point, he has played very well. Like, you can't point to anything and say, oh, man, he's been bad. He's been very good from Texas to Grambling. He's been solid. He's been good. It was just a bad play. Number one, let me speak on him not turning around because we have to understand this, okay? Yes, there's techniques that are taught to turn when you turn around and when to turn around. And sometimes there's coaching to read the eyes and hands of the receiver, okay? That's what he attempted to do. That didn't work. He caught the ball, good throw, good catch from a good receiver. All right, cool. You missed the catch. He caught it. After that, you got to bring him down. You got to bring him down. Some things he was trying to punch the ball out. You can't do that. You got to get him down. He just didn't execute. Period. So I'm not going to throw away Lorenzo Styles Jr. off of that play, no matter how embarrassing it was. It was a bad play, and it was the only play that was really given up. The defense suffocated them. And they still, I mean, bro, Funky, they even with that 70-yard play, almost 70-yard play, they still only had 181. They had under 200 total yards, even with that gaff. So anyway, I just wanted to speak on that. I got more to say, but I don't want to hog it. I want you to jump in and respond to that, and then I can keep going if you like.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's like trying to claim victory on their Lorenzo Styles take because he was the popular person to hate on before the year because he's not the fancy 5-star, 4-star cornerback that we recruited and processed, and he was some 3-star transfer from Notre Dame who turned from wide receiver to cornerback and was solid last year, but clearly this year has made, dramatic improvements. He was a great player versus Texas. He played great. He was
Yeah.
very noticeable all over the field, played every single snap. Grambling was grambling, but he played solid. And then yesterday he made, that was not a good play.
Right.
That one just frankly was not a good play. And but that just stuff happens. It's football. It's football at the end of the day. That stuff happens. That was a good wide receiver he was going up against, a good quarterback. Uh, that stuff just frankly happens. And anyone really trying to hate on him now are kind of just star watchers who I don't think have the best, IQ of football. But I'll just put it that frankly, they're just people who love when the 5 and 4 stars, and they also probably like love when we get 5-star offensive tackles who can't block and ignore the 3 stars like Austin and stuff who are
Yeah.
it's just the same type of fan that are calling for this player to be benched. And he got injured. I have not heard any word on the severity of his injury, so I
He's
hope
good.
he's
He's
good.
good.
Is that what
Yeah.
it was? Okay, that's solid. He's good.
He's
I'd
okay.
love to have him back by Washington because he's been a force in our defense because he's been playing safety, he's been playing nickel, he's been playing all over the field, deep, close to the line of scrimmage. He's been very good against the run all game. The whole defense has played really well. So there's
Yeah.
not one person on the defense that we really should be picking on right now. And but yeah, overall the defense played great. So I'm gonna really stop talking about that one play. I think everyone kind of understands that most smart people, are looking at this, and it was just one bad play, and that stuff happens. It happened last year. It happened this year. It will happen next year. That just stuff kind of happens. You want to limit it, especially versus the big time players. But I think it's almost good when we make these mistakes, though. I hate going into a game thinking that we're unbeatable. That's when we get caught sleeping, and then we make a mistake, and then how do we bounce back from this mistake? So we got a
Yeah.
little bit of that this week, and hopefully the coaching staff drills into him. And trust me, he's upset about making the mistake too. We're not
Yeah.
we're not more upset than he is. He is just upset. This is his NFL year. You don't want to put too many of those on tape if you want to be drafted in the first 5 rounds of the NFL or make an NFL roster like his goal is to do. So I'm excited to see how he bounces back, and I'm very excited to see how we prepare for Washington because Washington is oddly built very similar to Ohio in a weird way, where they're pretty stout up front, like they're decent, not great. But their defense is definitely very suspect. But they've got a quarterback who can kind of make plays, and got a receiver on the outside who can kind of make plays, and Washington's got a real good running back that Ohio did not have. So Washington's definitely going to be a harder team to go against. But I'm excited to see how it goes. And the game time should be announced Tuesday, and I think that could be very interesting because
Yeah.
it could be a late game. Could be.
Yeah. Because I've been, in my mind, I've just been assuming it's going to be a night game. Nobody knows yet, but that's just been my assumption that they're going to push. Because is that NBC? Do you know if it's NBC or CBS? Anybody know?
I don't think that it's been announced. I've looked recently, but we
Oh,
don't know
not
what.
even the network hasn't been announced yet? I thought it
No,
was
I,
just the time.
I don't think so. Am I
Wow.
wrong? You can give that a quick Google
Yeah,
search,
I'm
but
about to check right now.
I'm pretty
Uh,
sure the
Washington.
network has not been announced,
That's
and
crazy.
it will be interesting because my prediction that it will be like a 3:30 West Coast game. That would be my, or sorry, maybe 12:30. I have no idea. I don't. I have no idea what time the game really
Yeah,
will be. I'm just
that's
hoping it's not one of those late night games, which it could be. Don't say it couldn't be because they just put Michigan State at that time slot. So
yeah, you're right. Nothing. I guess I'm not. Well, I guess it's still 2 weeks out, but it just seems like the announcement of the actual network is usually done by now, at
they
least
announced
two
it
weeks out.
Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's still within a 2 week window, but I don't know. That's strange. It seems like it's probably going to be an NBC or a CBS. I'm thinking my guess is NBC. That's my guess. We'll see, and I'm expecting a night game.
NBS has Oregon and Penn State, so it'll probably be CBS.
Okay, okay, then that's cool. If it's CBS, then it's probably a 3:30, like you said. That's my guess. It's
3:30 is that
probably
3:30 East Coast?
yep, Yep.
Got
I
you.
think it's going to be 3:30 East Coast.
That'd be great
Uh,
for us because that'd be like a noon start for West Coast. That's the equivalent of the noon start.
yeah. Instead of a 9
Yeah.
start for y'all.
That'd be.
Um,
It's definitely not gonna be a 9. It's either gonna be that noon slot or like nighttime, like late
right.
night, like that 8 p.m. West Coast start time. So
Yeah. So we going to see now. Speaking of Washington, I love, and we're going to get to Bo Jackson in a minute, and also some more of the offense. But real quick about Washington. Listen, Washington is not on the level of Ohio State talent wise. They're just not. Their quarterback is athletic. He's very athletic. He's more athletic than Navarro. He's shifty. He's definitely a weapon. Overall, they just don't have the overall talent that we have to match up talent wise. However, I love how our staff and our players, if you hear them talk, they're pumping this game up. They're calling it a big game. They keep pointing to it like it's a big game. Washington is unranked. Okay. So I love how Ohio State coaches and players are pushing big game, because this is going to be Washington's Super Bowl. They're going to go all out. They're going to try to pull an upset. We better be ready to play. So, yes, these little gaffes and mistakes Sam was making, which really wasn't super, because the two picks weren't like, man, why'd you throw that? Except for the second one where he should have took the sack. But even that is just like, if he throws it and completes it, it's like, oh, good play, saying, but he'll learn. The point is that get it out your system now. You got a bye week to work through film and to rep things and work on things, clean the red zone up, not only clean up the execution, but clean up play calling. And I'm not even saying, I'm not on the bandwagon of some that's saying Hartline was trash. I don't think it was all on Hartline. I think it was a combination of lack of execution, Saying and company, not finishing, with some runs, and then Hartline, finding his footing. Either way, we should have scored, touchdowns in the red zone. We'll clean that up. But did you want to jump in? I see you went off mute. Go ahead and jump in
yeah,
real
I
quick. I'll
mean,
keep
I
going.
personally, I mean, this could be a hot take, but personally, what I think Hartline's issue in the red zone was he's really trying to feed those wide receivers a little too much in the red zone. Like he's trying to pat JJ's stats. That's what it seemed to me be. I really felt like he was like, this is not the first time that we've been in the red zone this year, and we've been trying to pass the ball on the 1 yard line on like second down, like or from the inside the 3.
Yeah.
I really think that it was Hartline trying to pad the stats for the Heisman campaign for JJ, which I don't even hate, by the way. I'm not anti this. I think that's something that we really should be doing with our star players. If we want star players to come here, helps to have multiple people on the Heisman list and win the Heisman and stuff. But that's just what I think was happening. Because if you really want, if you rewatch the game, and you think like that, like how I'm thinking, it becomes a little more obvious from my standpoint. I don't know. Like that's just my outlook on it, because his play calling was great within,
The
the 90
20s.
yard. But yeah,
Yeah.
like in between the 20s, it was great. But it just all of a sudden we got inside the 5, and it was like, what the heck are we doing? Like, are we were we really trying to pass them? And think about on the interception. That play call was the JJ. It was a slant route to JJ. Then Grambling dropped the cornerback into the slant, and then Julian had to look
Ohio.
off JJ. Look off JJ, and then go back out to Carnell, and he was late on it because his first read was for JJ. And then yesterday we threw up. I think we threw it up to like JJ twice, and it was 2 incompletions. And we threw up to Carnell once, and it was an incomplete pass. So just a little stuff to work on, and I think that's a Heartline thing. But again, not a huge deal, but that's just something to look out for, and hopefully we maybe start to run the ball a little more within 2-3 yards, even if it's
Yeah.
third down in the goal line, and set up a more manageable 4th and short. Because Ohio University is not stopping us on a 4th and short. So why are we passing the ball on a 3rd and 3? Like we should be running it twice. Like that's just my personal opinion on that. But I'm
Yeah.
curious what you think about that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. I don't think your opinion is like crazy. I don't know if I fully agree with it, but I don't think it's like, man, that's a terrible take. Because Hartline is the OC now. I mean, he's the
Yeah,
OC and he's the wide receiver coach, and it's just like, hey, he's a wide receiver, like that's what he does. So I can see him having, some bias of, hey, Let me get it to my guys. So I don't think that's a terrible take. It's just, to me, if you look at, what the defense was giving us, and we had man-to-man coverage, and we got supposedly the best wide receivers, not supposedly, we do, in the country. You mean to tell me we can't convert a fade route or a 50-50 ball over an Ohio DB if they're
Yeah.
giving us man-to-man? So to me, it's that I'm hesitant to go all in that take, because it was logical to do that. Sure, we could have ran it maybe, but we had a matchup that was overwhelmingly favorable. The Ohio DBs played it well. There was one ball Sand could have threw it a little higher. I agree with Sims on that. He was a little off that night, but I agree with him on getting a little more height on the ball, because there's no way he's getting up for that 50-50 with JJ. But anyway, maybe there's some legitimacy to what you're saying as far as him being biased towards what the call in that play. But either way, it's all good. We won by 4 touchdowns. It's something to learn from. So let's kind of pivot to the positive and also get to Bo Jackson. Those throws by Sand were phenomenal. That throw to J.J. Smith, or actually was it Carnell Tate? No, to Carnell, was absolutely beautiful. That post was absolutely on time, perfect, beautiful. And then also the throw to Max Clare was a really good throw too. He's on the run and he's able to hit him, throws a nice dot perfectly with defenders really on his heels. I mean, we saw Sand do some really, really good things, and we saw him make some mistakes, eat the sack, whatever, force things, not see certain guys open. All that stuff will be cleaned up. But those throws, Funky, what did you think about some of those throws, especially that throw to Carnell Tate?
I mean, no, Julian's deep ball was magical, man. I mean, he was very, very good down the field. And even what mostly, impressed me most was his ability to go 1 read, 2 read, 3 reads.
Yeah.
In the open field, where the defenses have to spread out a little more. They can't just be, clumped up like the red zone is, and it's more like a normal football game. I mean, Julian was great. He went, I think it was like 3 comeback routes. He went from like left to the right, 1, 2, 3, and I think it hit Brandon Innes on a comeback route right in between the zone, or maybe it was Carnell Tate. It was one of them.
It was Tate.
It was Tate, and that was just a well-timed, well-thought-out play that wins you a lot of these games. And Julian, for being this young, because you got to remember, he's still young. He's a redshirt freshman. He could be the starting quarterback at Ohio State for 4 more years, hypothetically. And in his 3rd game of the season, I mean, he's literally my age, B. So I couldn't even imagine having to process all that and understand the offense, because there's only perfection at Ohio State. You have to be perfect. If you're not perfect, there's going to be haters. And that's why it's kind of funny what we're talking about this, and how we have to kind of address like the negatives, and then we address the positives, but we definitely don't talk about it as much as we probably should in general, because overall Julian was fabulous. I mean, he was really, really good. He has like an 80+% completion percentage. Like pretty much every single throw he throws seems like it's on target, and he's been, I mean, amazing. It's just at Ohio State we look for perfection, so we're nitpicking, every single throw and all this, as we should though, because again, we've had some dang good quarterbacks come through this Ryan Day system, and that's what we're comparing Julian to. So I'm excited to see how he grows in this offense, and I think Washington will be another good test for him, a good road environment. It'll be a good road environment, but Washington's pass defense is not up to date with Ohio State's. So I'm really looking forward to see what Julian can do on a bigger stage, a national televised game in front of the entire world. I know he's excited for it, and these are the games that build your Heisman campaign. So you best believe Ohio State wins out, which we're expected to do at this point. At this point, the expectation for the season has to be undefeated. Like that's just what it has to be, because you can't lose that game in late November, and that Penn State game. Penn State doesn't look like all that, and it's at home, and then you can never really excuse a loss to Illinois or Washington. So I mean, we're looking through the season, and the expectation is 12-0 at this point. I know that's very, very me being kind of a homer or me being kind of holding these guys to a hard string, but that's just kind of the reality at this point because this is a dang good football team. This is a dang good football team, and I mean we'll see what happens. I'm gonna let them grow, and again we're not gonna be suicidal if we look really bad versus Washington or whatever. But the expectation has to be in that we go in this game and we kick the crap out of them, and starts the Heisman campaign for Julian Saint and Jeremiah Smith, who's going to win the Heisman, by the way. Jeremiah Smith is going to win the Heisman this year.
He has a shot. I mean, looking at the odds and even the landscape and the lack of quarterback production and, like really, really elite quarterback play, he has a legit shot for sure. And last night was a good way of pushing that forward with his stats. And so you said a lot. I was going to say something about, I don't know, you said a lot. But no, I'll say this real quick before I get to my other point, is that I don't think what you're saying is unreasonable as far as, the goal is 12-0 or the expectation is 12-0 based off what we've seen so far. I don't think that's unreasonable because you made some good points. And now that we can see the landscape, now that we can see these teams, now don't sleep on Illinois. Altmaier is a really good quarterback. It's at Illinois. They're a good team. Are they as talented as Ohio State? No, not many teams in the country are, but they're still a good team. It's at their place, and they got maybe the best quarterback we may see all season. Like, for real, Altmaier is good.
Illinois is good, but we'll be 2 touchdown favorites though. That's the thing. We'll be 10.5.
I mean, of course, we'll be 2 touchdowns favorites, but we still better be ready. To go to Illinois and Champaign and play. I don't care how many touchdowns we favored by. We better be ready because Brett Bielema is going to have that team ready. He's a good coach. They got a good quarterback. I'm just saying we better be ready. So, but yeah, go ahead.
You're totally right. You're totally right. That game is going to be. I mean, that's probably the second or third hardest game, or first or second hardest game left on our schedule.
Them in Penn State,
in the Penn State game. But then again, we're talking about this, and then we're like, hey, but we'll probably be minus 2,000 on the money line. So like an implied odds of 90+%. So as good as I think Illinois is in them, I mean, it's just like we could be the boogeyman. And it's funny because I heard you say or talk about what we talked about how we might be the boogeyman on the pod a few nights ago, and I laughed. Because I've not been on the pod recently. I know.
You.
Oh yeah, you did. I heard. You quoted me, and it was I laughed because I've not been on to go on the pods. So all my conversations that I usually do on the podcast has been with B or Nevada or Devin offline, and I was like calling B. I'm like, I'm looking through these teams and I'm trying to find the boogeyman. And I'm realizing that the boogeyman is us. We're the boogeyman. So
that's funny.
It's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, but real quick, and we're going to get to Bo Jackson like right after this point because we need to get to that. But
all right, yeah.
I was going to say, because I see Ian, I see you in the chat. You saying B Moses stop making excuses for Brandon Ennis. I've never made excuses for Brandon Ennis. He had 0 targets yesterday.
Brandon Ennis had 0 targets yesterday?
0 targets. He did not get thrown to once yesterday. Now, somebody correct me. If it's not 0, it was 1, maybe. But from what I saw, it's 0. And then one of the plays, he was wide open for a touchdown, and Sayin didn't see him. Okay? So, again, Ian, listen, I rock with you. You my guy, but you're going to have to email the coaching staff and ask them why they keep playing him over Graham. It's not my decision. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm allowing these young boys to grow. He's still a new starter. He's highly regarded. There's things he does that the staff feels like is important to this team. Has he been wildly productive yet? No, he hasn't. But he's still behind freaking Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. They both had over 100 yards yesterday. They were the main targets. And then Claire caught a touchdown as well and a couple other passes. So you got Claire, an all-world tight end, who we're also trying to integrate and bring along as well. And this is a dirty work dude. You know what I'm saying? Even if Graham did come in and play, will he still get a lot of targets behind those 3 guys? I don't know. But give these boys some time to develop and get their feet under him. He had a nice punt return. He's been a little frustrated on punt returns, but our punt return game is always frustrating, to be fair. But he had a nice punt return yesterday. Again, give these dudes time. So let's transition, Funky. Then I'm gonna let you respond into the run game. okay? Because this video, is titled about Bo Jackson, okay? So we're gonna talk about that. So, you know, to me, I don't want Bo Jackson emerging to be an indictment on Peoples and Donaldson. Peoples is another young guy he just started his third game. Well, not started, but he played his third game, as a main back. He still needs to learn. He needs to work on his patience and his vision. You can see the talent. He has some bursts. He actually didn't play bad. He averaged, what was it, 6.7 yards per carry. He was not bad out there at all. And Donaldson is what he is. He's the between the tackle guy. He's the hammer dude. But Bo Jackson is just special. He's special. He's just one of those kids who just, like Beanie Wells. You saw his freshman year. He was special. Claret, special. And I'm not saying Bo Jackson is Claret, per se. I'm just saying he's in that special category. And then Henderson, he balled out as a freshman. J.K. Dobbins, you can see when kids are special. I think Peoples, don't throw him away yet either, because every kid doesn't have to be the superstar. There's role players. There's guys who are like just solid dudes who help the team. I think Peoples still has more in him as he continues to develop. But right now, I was hoping, me and Nevada was talking, Funky. We were saying he needs to get in the first or second quarter versus Ohio, so that he can, show once again he's that dude. And what did he do? He did that. He rushed for over 100 yards. Y'all see him run that 65-yard run, just showing how special he was. He took a run that maybe Donaldson and Peoples would have had 8 yards for and took it for 65 because of his mixture of vision, power, low pad level, speed, all of that. He's just dynamic. And so the timing is great for these next 2 weeks and the bye week to give him more first team reps, for him to watch more film, to get integrated more into the offense. He can catch the ball to the backfield. To me, if you're a Buckeye fan, you should be excited about Bo Jackson, number one, but also understand that Peoples and Donaldson are just being thrown away. Like, I forget who said it. I think, I forget who said it, but they were talking about how Georgia had 3 backs the year they won the title. I believe it was when they won back-to-back. They had 3 backs that they ran at you, that they rotated. And it's a long season. So, to me, I'm excited about all 3 with Bo Jackson leading the charge, because that dude is dynamic, Funky. Jump in, brother.
Can you hear music in my sound, B?
Nope.
If so, I apologize. There's a house party next to me, of course.
College
yeah.
No, I don't hear no music, bro. Your phone you got some good whatever speakers.
Okay. Good. Okay, good. I just wanted to make or talk about that before. But Bo Jackson, let's just get this straight. Bo Jackson is by far the best running back we have, B. Purely running the ball, Bo is the best one we have. But the things that we don't know is Bo good in pass pro. Because high schoolers don't really learn that. Derrick Henry famously went up to Nick Saban and was like, I don't know how to pass pro at all. He said all in high school they did was give me the ball and tell me to run. So these high schools don't really ask these, 5-star running backs to block the block. That's just really not a thing. Bo Jackson's ranking was kind of was not great out of high school because of his injury. So they kind of punished him for not playing, which is whatever. But another reason why the rankings kind of suck. But Bo had to deal with that injury in high school, so couldn't really, improve his ranking. So he came out, he was a 150th player in the nation, I believe. So when he got to Ohio State, people really weren't expecting him to make that much of a instant impact on the team but man, he's been special. And he's definitely he's definitely the guy that I would want to give the ball constantly to on this team. And because again, but it's like you said, we're not throwing away CJ Donaldson and James Peoples. They're still going to get a ton of carries. It's a long, long season. We're not going to he's not going to turn into a workhouse back by Washington, because he still needs to learn how to pass pro. He still needs to learn how to catch the ball. So it's going to be a long, long process for him. But I'm really excited that he's on the team, because he's the real answer to our running back issue that we're having. Because Peoples is not as good as I thought he was going to be. CJ Donaldson's about as good as I thought he would be, but I thought Peoples would, take a little bit more of the shares. But Bo's legit, man. I mean, he's fast, he's vicious, and who's even arguably better than Bo Jackson?
My bad. Who's that?
The Anthony Rogers that we have on the bench right now, who's
Turbo.
injured.
Oh yeah.
Turbo.
Yeah.
Turbo Rogers
Yeah.
is very good, man. I mean, very good. The second best running back in his class, and man, he's a dang good player that no one really talked about because we kind of got him in the time where we lost Naheem Offord, and we just were coming off that loss versus that team up north, and blah blah blah, a lot of negativity. But he's really good, man, and our running back room is saved by those two guys because man, Tony Alford screwed our running back room by one not getting a running back in the junior year class, I believe now,
Yeah.
and then missing out on our top targets and not settling for Peoples, but in a way settling for Peoples. Or as you know, we passed up Peoples for the running back that went to Michigan, right? And
Yeah. Peoples was, and listen, I know star rankings aren't always a thing, but he was the higher ranked back and a better. He played in Texas.
yeah,
I mean, so we went after Peoples was our number one guy, and then we tried to circle back and also grab Marshall. Is it Jordan Marshall?
Jordan
Yeah,
Marshall,
Jordan Marshall. Yeah, who's a solid back, but I mean, at this point, I'm not. It's a wash. I don't see Jordan Marshall being, so much greater at this point. I mean, he's solid, but this
he's
goes
barely
back
playing
to
there.
yeah, exactly. So again, we got to let kids develop, and this is his third game. Do I think he has the ceiling of Bo Jackson or some of these super freshmen we've had? No, maybe not. But I do think he can be really good, but he's going to take longer to develop. And so I'm not throwing him out, yeah. But I was going to say something about the recruiting. We talking about Bo Jackson. And this is why, y'all, when we freak out about supposedly losing kids or not getting the running backs we want, this is like the staff, if they're not willing to just dump $1 million or whatever, Hyder, what's his name? Was it Savion Hyder? Yeah.
Yes,
Like, you have to understand from the perspective of the Ohio State coaching staff, they know what's on their roster. You don't think they knew they had a Bo Jackson and a Turbo Rogers? And they thought, hey, why would we? And this is what Ryan Day talks about. You can't just bring guys in. There's culture stuff. Money wise, you got to be careful just paying some freshman more money than Bo Jackson, and then Bo Jackson leaves, and then you have no guarantee in this Hyder dude. This is like, you got to play it carefully. But if you know what you have on your roster already, that's going to play a little bit into how much you are willing to pay a guy. It's like, why risk losing your room that you really feel good about, that you've seen in person, to get a guy that you really haven't had that much experience with because he's a 5-star? You got to keep that in mind, y'all. I just wanted to say that, Funky, real
yeah,
quick, and we can
especially
keep
for
going.
the running back position, B, because it's
Yeah.
like, when would Savion Hyder play for us? So Savion Hyder is going to play 3 years for that team up north. And then, so the first year he comes in as a freshman. No, he's not playing over Bo Jackson or Turbo Rogers. I mean, that's a running back duo that's going to be with us. Then the sophomore year, he's not going to play either because that's still the year of the Bo Jackson and the Turbo Rogers.
Right.
So you're paying this kid, let's say, $1 million a year, which is actually, I think Michigan's paying him, about $1 million. I think it's a little more than $1 million, but about $1 million, let's say $1 million a year. But sit on the bench,
Right.
the play against Grambling. Like, no, that doesn't make any sense. So kids
Yeah.
like that, we really shouldn't be paying next to anything. And
Yeah.
that's why our running back class in 2020 or the 2026 recruiting cycle is meh. I favor Aki from Columbus is good player. He got injured during his senior year, so I'm assuming his rating is going to take a hit. But he's a good player. Was recruited
I
by
like
Texas,
Favor.
USC,
Yeah.
Miami. I like him as a player, but he's not some superstar, and I'm not too worried about it. Or I'm not worried about it at all, because we got Bo Jackson and Turbo Rogers on our roster for 3 years, and that's going to be, the best running back room in America. I mean,
Yeah.
it really could be, because Turbo's really good. I'm telling you guys. Like before he got injured at practice, man, he was impressive. Impressive. Like he was.
Yeah.
Well, I would ask kids on the team to give me like 3 names, and Turbo Rogers popped up more times than not. Man, he was really 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 showing out. Him and Bo actually were mentioned quite a bit. So the running back room's in good hands under Carlos Laughlin.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. And it's just I just wanted to bring that out to kind of bring perspective from the whole recruiting, angst and wringing your hands and why didn't we get Hyder and give these guys money? It's just not that simple. And sometimes it's just the fact that we like what we have. And you haven't seen Bo Jackson yet until now, but they have. You know what I'm saying? It's like you've recruited this dude, you've watched him, you have a relationship with him, and then once he gets to fall camp and once he gets into or not even just fall camp, but just into the program, you're starting to see and like even more. So that kind of brings some perspective. But anyway, Firefish said Bo is slippery like Maurice Claret. I want to talk about that real quick. Is Maurice Claret had elite vision. For a big guy his size, he was able to get skinny in the hole. He didn't have elite speed, but his vision and initial burst allowed him, and he outran angles. He was very good at like making you like he made it tough on defenders with their angles, is what I'm trying to say. Bo Jackson's vision is already elite. That is so important for a freshman running back. If either you better have blazing speed like Trey Henderson, his vision his freshman year wasn't great, but his speed was. All right. So Bo Jackson, he doesn't have Trey Henderson speed, but he has good speed, but his vision is elite. So he's getting through the hole. Why is he so good? He's getting north now with the vision to get through the holes and get skinny while going north. He's not east and westing, he's getting north while getting through the holes with the vision and the burst and just the awareness. Go look at that run I just played again. I don't want to keep playing it because it's Twitter, but it be acting stupid. So you go look at that run. I mean, his awareness of tacklers he even hopped over one guy a little bit to evade him, and then ran away and stiffed dude to get 20 even more yards. He's just a really he's just going to continue to cook. I'm just so excited, Funky and y'all, about Bo Jackson, because we were thinking, okay, our run game, people should be good, let him emerge, and then here comes Bo Jackson. But when I saw him in practice, Funky, him and Turbo, and my little nuggets, I wrote down Turbo. I had a nice little paragraph on Turbo Rogers because he impressed me in practice. And, of course, Bo Jackson did too. And I was just like, whoa, like Bo Jackson, in person, his speed, he looked faster in person. Like his speed was deceptive in the open field when I saw him in person. And we're seeing it now, man. So if we got a 3-headed monster with Bo Jackson leading the charge, cracking off big runs, that's just going to open up the pass game even more, because there's going to be teams that are going to try to scheme us up to take away our pass. But you're not going to be able to do that because Bo Jackson and these backs, and even Donaldson, who can run through you, as you saw, he stepped out of bounds, but he just straight bullied that dude. Man, it's exciting to see the dynamic we can have with this offense with Bo Jackson emerging with these guys. Funky.
Yeah, if you haven't bought stock on Bo Jackson now, like if you haven't already, then you better do it before this Washington game, because Washington does not have a good run defense. I mean, sorry, not is a stretch. They have a very bad run defense. Decent pass defense. They were better last year on the pass defense, but this year they're a little better. They're a little worse defending the pass, but they're way worse defending the run. They're bad. They're real bad. Colorado State was able to run all over the field against them. So it'll be interesting to see what we do. It's a road environment. I could see Ohio State going back to big personnel, 12 personnel, and really trying to run the rock versus Washington. And it's either going to be explosive and we're going to break some huge runs, or there's some people calling for the play calling to be whatever, the Ryan Day to be fired because it's the play calling's too conservative. So I think because I really do think that's what we're going to go out versus Washington. We're just going to try to run this rock, and we're going to do it with a bunch of tight ends. And by the way, off topic a little bit, but shout out Ohio State tight ends today. Multiple touchdown passes coming
Luke
from the
Farrell
tight
got his
ends.
first one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw
Luke
that.
Farrell got an end zone, so shout out them. We've been Jeremy Ruckert got one. Like I don't remember last time we've had two Ohio State tight ends score a touchdown in one single Sunday, or at least one Sunday morning. So that was great to see. But man, I really do think we're going to try to run the Brock versus Washington and be just run, run, run. That I think
Yeah,
that's going to be the game plan on the road, a loud environment. You got to be able to run the ball on the road, and I think that's what Ohio State's going to do. And I think Bo Jackson's going to. I mean, if he wasn't already impressive, then we'll see it versus Washington, man, because they trust him now too. B, you saw it. They got him
yeah,
out. They got him out versus Ohio early and often. He
yep,
wasn't. He wasn't some person there hiding on the bench or like Trayvon was kind of the doghouse. It felt like his freshman year, and he barely got any touches. Or that's what it felt like to me. B, it felt like he should have been used way more his freshman year. Like, what do you feel? Like
yeah.
you want to say something about
No,
that?
no, I was gonna say be funky. B is in the. I said be funky. Be careful, funky. B is in the chat. You said Trayvon again. It's
Oh no,
Travion. She
Travion.
gonna
Oh
get you.
gosh. No.
She
Oh
gonna
god.
get you.
Oh,
No,
that's
but
my
no, but
bad
I no,
again.
I
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. But I agree with the game plan. I do think it makes sense to me to go into Washington, 12 personnel, even sometimes 13, and run the ball, play action, get your, tight ends in the flat, choke them out. And then maybe if we go up 3 touchdowns, we can, go downfield a little bit. Just Ryan Day is focused on winning games. I know that sounds like, yeah, duh, you play to win the game. I know, I get it. I'm saying Ryan Day has been there, done that, y'all. He is 70, what is he, 73-10. He just completed the dopest run in college football history in the playoffs, and then beat Texas. What I'm saying is Ryan Day is not about playing games out here. He is going to win the surest way, just like he did against Texas. If it makes sense to go 12 against Washington, that's what he's going to do. Forget the 4 wide and let's be cute and sexy. No, let's look at the game tape. Oh, they're not that good against the run. Bet. That I agree with that, Funky. And so, yeah, that's what we need to do. Get out of there with the win, and that's just it. So, one thing I wanted to say about Donaldson, real quick, and I want to talk about some games around the nation as we close out. One thing I do like about Donaldson, yes, he has limitation as a power back. He's a tough, gritty between the tackles, get you, some fight for those yards type of guy. But even if he's in the game, he still has the versatility of being able to catch out of the backfield. He has very good hands as a former tight end. And I like that, being able to leak him out on wheel routes or in the flat when you think, okay, well, he's just in to be a power back. And then we go play action. And let's say everyone else is covered. I trust him to catch the ball and pick up a first down. He did it against Texas. He did it against Grambling. Like, he's very good in that regard. So don't sleep on Donaldson in the passing game just because he's limited as a speed guy in the run game, Funky.
You're totally right. He's also the best pass blocking running back that we have on the
Yeah.
offense. So no, CJ's been what I thought he should be. So a good solid running back, but clearly not the guy you probably want leading your offense. Yeah, no, I saw that too. Be and
Yeah,
yeah,
I know she just tickled.
yeah. Some people are talking in the chat. Yeah, Anthony Rogers is hurt, so he'll be back. I think a little later this season, but we probably won't see much of him. So, especially because Isaiah West has also been playing pretty well. That running back from Pennsylvania, he's been, showing out for the team. And also the last thing that I was really thinking about. Then we go to. I want to bring up one more thing about outside Ohio State after this, but.
Yeah.
Ryan Day has 71 wins at Ohio State, and the all-time win record is 209,
I think he's got 73.
73, and he's been coaching
73
Ohio
wins
State for 5-6 years now.
since 2019. Yeah. So, yes, this is his sixth season. right? Yeah, 6 seasons.
Hey, if we're lucky, Ryan Day could be on top of that leaderboard sooner than we think because that dude knows how to win. I mean, he has the highest winning percent. I think he's the most. He has the highest winning percentage from a head coach since World War II.
It's
So this
crazy.
dude knows how to win, and we take it for granted because
Yeah, we do.
we do because sometimes we lose the big games. But man, or as good as Urban Meyer was, we get a little bit of a false sense of reality of his time out here at Ohio State. The longer he's been gone, for the better, by the way. I think he should be looked at as an amazing head coach and a great. But even he talked about it. He had some struggles in these games where he should not have struggles in, and he lost some games he really shouldn't have. And he talked about on a podcast with Colin Coward recently. He talked about how he reacted to winning a national title, and he said he felt like he reacted poorly, and that he would take
Yeah,
back a lot
saw
of
that.
stuff that he would have done. Then he thinks Ryan Day has been handling so far great, but he's interested to see how he handles it because you can either take it really well or you can take it not so well. So it'll be interesting to see how Ryan Day does because it's only been 3 games. But that's just one thing I really want to bring up about Ryan Day that we've yet to see so far. But all we have seen is the most winnings head coach of all time. So blessed for that. And the one thing I want to bring up, the best freshman quarterback in the nation be best true freshman quarterback in the nation reigns in California, Cal
He
Berkeley.
looks good.
That
He looks
that
good.
kid is really good.
I was
Uh,
watching.
really, really, really good. And I want to get online and say this first. I mean, it's not a hot take now because if you watch him play, man, he looks special. But he was an Oregon commit. He signed with Oregon, or he committed to Berkeley, flipped to Oregon, and then in the spring transfer portal went back to Berkeley. So it who knows how this kid's going to be once the portal opens because he's going to be getting offered millions of dollars. Because
Hmm.
this kid's special, and I know we've talked about people have talked about the Bryce Underwoods, the DJ Lagways, the others, whatever, the Dante Moores. This kid's better than all of them. And you might not hear about him because he plays at Berkeley, but man, he is special. And that shows me that a freshman quarterback can be really good and they can look good versus Power Five opponents. And then you look in Ann Arbor and you're like, okay, now that kid has a big arm, and but he's been wildly inaccurate. Has thrown some crazy. He should have thrown 2 or 3 picks yesterday for Central. 3 real picks, by the way. He threw one horrible pick. Do you see that? You saw that pick, B?
I did. I
It
heard
was
about it, but I didn't
it
see it.
was just literally just chucked it up to 3 Central players. It was nothing short of that. Like, I'm being serious. I'm not even kidding. And he did that like 3 times, but only got caught once. He did on like the first pass play of the game too. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go
he's
back and watch the BT in the 60. I'm gonna check it out.
yeah, he's not all of that. And trust me, I'm not trying to hate on Bryce Underwood. I think he'll be fine, but he's not generational. Because if we want to talk about generational, you look at that kid in Cal Berkeley because he's doing this with not any talent on his team versus decent Power Five opponents already, and he looks good. He looks poised. He doesn't take too many sacks. He doesn't make too many mistakes. And he's good. And he's like a true freshman, just got here, and there's a reason why Devin Brown lost the job to him. I'll say that. He beat out Devin Brown, and people are calling Devin Brown trash for getting beat up by this kid. It's not Devin Brown. It's this kid
Right.
staying good. So,
Yeah.
well, I'll be interesting to see how the offseason is with him because he's going to be offered millions of dollars to transfer away from Berkeley, and we'll see if he does, or maybe he
Yeah.
stays for that degree.
Yeah. We'll see. That's a great take, man. He's definitely nice. He's nice. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, Underwood. Didn't you hear, Funky? Michigan is a dominant team. That's what Underwood say.
He's
He say they dominant. You lost to Oklahoma, and it should have been worse. You got dominated by Oklahoma. But anyway, it's just funny. He just represents the
he's
Michigan.
Batman. He's
Yeah, I
Batman.
heard that too. Biff Tannen. Bro, they're just ridiculous. Their fans, you can tell. You know how you could tell on social media their mood and even their confidence. They came strutting back onto the social media pages after whooping on the hapless Chippewas yesterday. You could tell they're back, baby. We're back. Okay, Nebraska Cornhuskers, if you're listening, I'm gonna need y'all to handle business. I'm gonna need you to sit them down again. They need to hold that L. I believe in you. I think you can do it. They're not that good. I know you're not that good, but you're going to be at home. So Rayola, don't be goofy. Execute, do your thing, because these jokers need to be silenced again after puffing their chest out for beating the Chippewas. They're going to have the nerve to try to talk greasy to us because we struggled in a 4-touchdown win versus the MAC champs in Ohio, who just beat a Power 4 team. Ohio would beat freaking Chippewas by 4 touchdowns.
I was
Like,
literally about
stop
to say
playing with
that,
me.
B. I was literally
You
about
know what
to
I'm saying?
say.
It's just
Yeah.
dumb. It's dumb. So, and also real quick, your boy Gio did it. You said you talked about Fahi. Yes, Funky on the scoop board posted the reel that talks about is he the most underrated quarterback? Luke Fahi
Mhm.
is really, really good. He's
You know,
really good. Go ahead, bro.
Luke Fahey's a good. I mean, when he first committed to Ohio State, I was not like suspect of him. Like I knew he was a good quarterback, and I've heard his name, and I know he plays for an amazing team at Mission Viejo. And but I wasn't I wasn't sold on it. Like I wasn't sold that he would ever really play at Ohio State. But man, I've been blessed to be able to come. I've watched in person every single one of his games, and he looks impressive.
Yeah.
Like good. Like he's still a little undersized and not as like he's not too fast and he doesn't have the biggest arm, but he's accurate. He reads defenses. He reminded me a lot of like watching like Russell Wilson. Like that's what he reminded me of. He reminded me like of a Russell Wilson type player where he's kind of made plays happen. He had a good arm and he's able to hit his receivers, and they played the best of the best competition in California. Literally the
Yeah.
best of the best. The Mission Viejo was not scared of any teams, and he looked, I mean, really good, like really good. He the first game of the year was a little rough versus Santa Margarita. They have a ton of Division One talent on that team. They have like 20 D1 commits on that team that are either in this class or the next couple classes that are projected to be Division One commits because they just got Carson Palmer as their head coach, and he threw a really nice game-winning touchdown versus them in Week 1. Struggled a little bit besides that, but that's a really good defense. But then they just went up and beat the best team in Northern California. He completely outshined 5-star Ryder Lyons. He made Ryder Lyons look like a 2-star. His defense did, and Luke Fahi beat him by 30, and it was a lot to do with him. Luke was very good, very mobile, got out of the pocket a lot, looked very good, and I'm very excited that he's a Buckeye. Way more excited than I was when he first committed, just because I thought he was just a dude when he first committed, and not looking at his ranking, looking at watching him. But man, he's made strides over the summer, and he's they. I had a feeling about this. There's pretty much this thing that we do in California, which is like a 7-on-7 tournament between all the best teams around here. Like it's but just 7-on-7. In Mission Viejo, led by Luke Fahi, won it this year. They beat Mater Day, and they beat like St. John Bosco, and I was like, damn. I was like, damn. I'm like because they usually do pretty well in that, better than they do in the actual football game. But
Yeah.
they won it this year. They usually get second or third or fourth, and then they go in this season they're kicking ass. So kudos to him. He's going to be competing to win a state championship in California. It'll be hard because obviously that they go through Modern Day and all these other good teams, but they're beatable. We saw it only took 7 turnovers, but they're beatable. Talking about Modern Day, B, if you missed it, Modern Day turned the ball over
Yeah.
7 times, and that's why they lost their game. So it'll be interesting. But kudos to Luke Fahi and kudos to Mission Viejo, and I'm definitely cheering from a little bit here in Southern Section Division One, California.
Amen. Yeah, I trust Ryan Day with quarterback play. That sounds
That
like a
too.
that
Yeah.
sounds like a slogan. I trust Ryan Day with quarterback
Yeah.
play. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're
Matter of fact,
exactly.
that might be another meme, like a little political, like a little sign in your yard with his face. I might do that later on. All right, super chats. Geo did 42. Thanks for the 5. Some fans need to relax. RELAX. Jay saying had some misreads. It happens. It's all part of his maturation process. Yes. Thank you, sir. That simple. But like I said, to be fair, because I'm going to talk about some of our fans when they being goofy, because it's irritating, and then also accountability. We got to hold each other accountable for being goofy. And for the most part, I think less spazzed than what I was worried about. Like I think our fans overall did a pretty good job having some perspective and not freaking out, over this game. So kudos to them. But yes, I agree. You got anything on that, Funky?
100%. We've been like way less spazzy than we were last year. Last year it was
Yeah.
spaz central, and I think the national championship helps.
Hmm.
I mean, no, it does. I mean, that's why people are less spazzy because it's like, oh, we just won a natty. So in a way, I mean, it's never okay to lose at Ohio State. But if you're going to give fans a year to lose at Ohio State, it would be this year where you can lose once or twice. And I know I said that, but I also said just 10 seconds later that expectations we win every single game. And that still is, that always is. But we've been way less spazzy. And kudos all you guys. Kudos to the smart fans, because
Yeah.
that's the truth. It's been, and when the people that been spazzy, the people that were former spazzes were like making fun of them and like laughing at them. So it's
Yeah.
not just us laughing at them, B now. It's the former spazzes now laughing at them. Because I mean,
So proud.
yeah, no, so proud. Trust me, because it takes a lot. Because I mean, for a while there, I was the spaz, so it took me a while to mature and not be a spaz, and I'm glad that there's a lot of other people like that. And maybe it only took winning a national championship, but you know what? I'm not going to complain, B. I'm not going to complain.
Not at all, man. Yeah, I'm definitely proud of the former Spazzies. Okay, don't fall off the wagon. You know, keep going to that 12-step program every week, which is the Scoop podcast. We will make sure we coach you up and just remind you that if any fan base is not going to have more spazzes or more spazzing people, it's Ohio State. We should have the least spazzing fans out of any fan base because we've been so consistent and we're going to continue to be. Geo did 42. Thanks again for the two. Isaiah West has great vision as well. He's good. Yeah, he's definitely good. You can see the vision. Obviously, not a burner, but he's another one of those guys that gets north. Great pad level, great vision, like you said, strong. I forget, I think it was Dev I was talking to who said his legs are like tree trunks. He's very hard to bring down. So that's just another depth guy that we have in this program to help grind out yards and just, physical downhill guy. So yeah, we good, man. Like I said, my excitement level has increased because our passing game is not even a question. We know the passing game is going to continue to be good. And guys like Ennis, and even hopefully Graham, who I believe will be integrated on some level, hopefully, maybe will continue to, be brought along. Claire still needs to be brought along in this offense. This touchdown he got this past Saturday was a step in that direction. And obviously, we got Tate and JJ out there that's going to do their thing. And Sam will continue to grow. It's only going to get better. But this run game, if with Bo Jackson in there, knowing that he's literally a walking tutty, he is a take it to the crib at any moment type of kid. Along with people still progressing and can still pick up some yards, and Donaldson doing what he does. How can you not be excited about this offense, y'all? Because we haven't even seen the best of it. That's what I'm saying, Funky. What you got on that?
Isaiah, or on Isaiah West first. Isaiah West looked good. Like he looked good. Like he looked like a real player when he went out there, and that was a little shocking to me because he was a little faster than I thought he was going to look.
Yeah.
And that was maybe just me star watching, and probably was because again, I I wasn't in Pennsylvania. I didn't really, I didn't recruit him. I didn't watch him. I didn't watch his tape. So I kind of looked at his size and looked at his star and expected him to be a little slower. And they got a few snaps, and I was like, wow, that he looks like a real player. And that's another reason why we're not really heavily going after a second running back in this class, because we got three dang good ones in the last class, like three dang good ones. Isaiah West is probably gonna be the best third running back in the nation in the next year or two, and that's not me trying to be an be a Mr. Sunshine Pumper, and that very well could be true. He might. Yeah, sunshine pumping. It's really easy to sunshine pumping when we're undefeated national champs. Be so. I'm really
Yeah.
excited, and just because I don't get on the pod much, and I just want to say this out loud, Ohio State's going to make the Ohio. I'm calling this right now. Ohio State's going to have more flips in December on the recruiting trail than we've ever had before. Just calling that out right now. We're going to have more flips than we ever had before. We're going to be giving last second offers that are big and that are unexpected, and we're going to get kids that we need. We're going to look at our class. We're going to look at they're going to look at like, okay, we need a defensive end. We need a defensive tackle. We need a cornerback. Again, I'm not just I'm just saying random positions. Well, the staff knows what they need, and it's probably those. But we're going to go after it, and we're going to go to our number 1 target, number 2 target on the board, and we're going to be like, how much? Blank check.
Yeah.
And it's probably not Womack because the safety room looks pretty good, Steely, but it could definitely be some other players, and it could be some players that commit at the USC right now, B. So,
yeah.
could be. I'll let the audience think on that one, but it definitely some dialogue happening. I'll say that.
Amen. Yeah, man. I'm here for it. I can't wait for it. And listen, y'all, we're gonna close out. Feels great to be a Buckeye always, especially right now. Enjoy this bye week. We got some games coming up this weekend. Go Huskers. And, we got some other good games. And we're going to talk about it throughout the week. So we appreciate y'all. We got some NFL coming on soon. So we're going to let y'all go. Always appreciate y'all in the chat. What up, Matt Reynolds? What's up, man? Firefish, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And we out. Go Bucks. Peace.